Dan, Team Girls Cup this weekend, how important is that in the terms of preparing for the season?
Yeah, it's a really important weekend away for the team in preparation for round one. I think we've had some really good hit-outs against 3 SSN teams in the past couple of weeks, and this is a great opportunity just to see how much progress we've made in the training environment and getting a real clear snapshot as to where our game's at and where we need to keep improving and what we need to consolidate on. That's some great strengths at the moment. So really looking forward to the competition and seeing what we can do over the next 3 days.
How much of a challenge is it playing 4 games in 3 days?
Yeah, I think it's a challenge in terms of just being able to back up game to game, but we'll be managing the athletes and, prioritising time in different combinations against different opposition and all that type of stuff. So the athletes are pretty robust to handle the demands, and they're obviously 40-minute games with a bit of rotation in there too, so it shouldn't be too much drama at all.
What do you hope to get out of the tournament?
I think it's about seeing where we're at. We're going to see a couple of teams that we haven't seen so far in pre-season, in the Firebirds and the Swifts, and then we'll have another crack against the Vixens as well. And those 3 teams are our first 3 in the competition itself. So I think it's going to just give us a great measure as to where we're at the moment and get a feel for where we're progressing. And also you get a bit of a sneaky look at how your opposition's going as well.
You mentioned you haven't seen the Firebirds or the Swifts this pre-season. What do you expect from those 2 teams in particular?
Well, I think they're probably going to obviously have target goal shooters that are going to demand high volume and high accuracy, and our defensive game is going to be really important against those 2 teams, and keen to see how both Mary Chollock and Grace Nowecki slot into their respective teams. They're going to be forces to be reckoned with, there's no question about that. So that'll be a great challenge for the group just to see where we're at, and also for us just a chance to really try and refine our new game plan, I guess, in attack under different competition pressure against different opposition. So there's lots of little things that we'll take out across the course of the weekend.
How much of an advantage is it to get a look at the Swifts with Nowecki, given you play them round 1 here in Perth?
Oh, I think it's always great to have had a feel against your direct opponent heading into the competition, so you're not kind of surprised or learning those things in the first couple of moments of an actual game. But obviously it's pre-season, there'll be a lot of rotations, different combinations, and coaches will use the weekend for different priorities in different ways. So I think just getting a look and feel at teams that we haven't seen over the past couple of weeks will be really important, and teams will look and feel slightly different year upon year, irrespective of what they did in the previous season. So there's a lot of intel to gain, and not just on us, but also on who our threats in the competition are as well.
Taking a squad of 12 over, so do we expect to see everyone get on the court and help with that sort of managing the workload?
Yeah, I think the load management is a really critical part of the weekend, and just making sure that you're giving combinations and certain players enough time out there to find their feet and play their role and get really comfortable under the intensity and speed of the game, and also making sure that we're not flogging players too much, that they come back and they're not in a spot to be able to resume their training as per normal. So yeah, load management is really important, as well as giving them opportunities to really get out there and feel it for an extended period of time.
If the Green Army haven't seen the other warm-up games, what can they expect from Fever in Team Girls Cup that's maybe different to previous seasons?
Yeah, I think realistically a lot of similarities. We've obviously got a very similar team apart from the inclusion of MJ Kamwenda and then Ruth coming into the contracted team as well. But, defence is really up and about. We hustle hard, we work hard. We've got a bit more variation in how we can play our defensive styles at the moment. And our attacking game is a little bit different too, with more movement and different patterns and different lines and angles. And a rotating circle is something that's new for us, which has been really exciting to build across pre-season. So similar styles, but also some slight variation, which is always really healthy.